Question for Dr. Baucham. I'm finishing up Family-Driven Faith, and you wrote something there that intrigued me greatly. You said you had to overcome numerous struggles as a married adult man due to not having your father around. I can relate. Today, God has made me a Reformed Christian disciple, gave me a godly wife and beautiful son. Christ be praised. Nonetheless, I struggle and had to overcome much. Can you talk about this a bit? I'm sure there are other men in the audience with similar stories. It'd be encouraging.
This really came crashing in on me the day my father died. It was 8 years ago next month, and I hadn't grown up with him, but God had restored a relationship between the two of us, and just providentially and gloriously, I got to disciple my father at the end of his life. But when he died, it just dawned on me my need for him, even as a man. And when I looked at my own children and the role that God had called me to play and all these things that I was beginning to understand, which kind of birthed, that book, it made me realize that all these things were not present in my life, and that I had to, on the one hand, acknowledge the providence of God and acknowledge that God is absolutely all-sufficient and he's enough. But on the other hand, I had to acknowledge the fact that I couldn't have such an important piece missing without there being consequences. And so I think we're caught between those two things. And the fact of the matter is, no one has a perfect father. Everyone has deficits that we must overcome, but that is what causes us to look to God as our perfect father, as our example, and as our help and hope. Again, that doesn't negate the need to find men in our lives who can play the significant roles that we need, men to play in our lives. But again, God is sufficient. He didn't make a mistake. What you didn't have was significant, and we shouldn't act like it wasn't significant. But at the same time, we can't use it as an excuse to not pursue godly manhood, because it's available to us, even if we didn't have a father. And let's not. Can we not do another question about my past and all that sort of stuff? I feel like I'm on Oprah. I'm gonna be crying in a minute.